Yo, what's going on, guys? Matt Saber here, and I'm back for SCL Season 9. Yes, a brand new season of SCL. What a surprise. So this is the 9th season. I'm very, very surprised we made it this far, but I'm very happy we have. It's been many years of SCL. I think it's been 3 years of SCL, and I found that fantastic. So shout out to the people in SCL. So this will be in my power rankings for SCL Season 9. We have 16 beautiful coaches, 13 returning coaches, and I think 4 of them are coming out of retirement. They've played past seasons, but they didn't play Season 8. And then we also have 3 newcomers, which I'm very excited about. So this is going to be PRs. If you're in SEO right now, it's easier to talk over what I'm thinking than typing it out. And I hate typing, so I'd rather just record me just talking about everyone's teams. But everything else, when you battle week 1, week 2, week 3, it'll all just be in PRs on the doc, if you find that there. Also, if you're an outsider and you want the doc, DM me on Discord, Saber number 1995, and add me as a friend, and I'll send you the SCL doc, lol. Maybe you can join the Discord, because I own it now. It's all me. Screw Centrios and David. Lol. Okay, so anyways, this is what you're here for. PR. So I'm really, really tired right now, and I'll try my best to give you the best context. Okay, so as you can see, this is the teams for SCL. We'll go through it. We have Sora, we have Fruit, Berries, we have Jack. So Fruit and Jack are 2 new. So Sora is a returning coach. He came out of retirement to play. Fruit's a new player. Jack's a new player. Daly played Season 8. Cheetah's a retired coach coming back. Pitt's a returning player. Myself, Sylvia, the 2 runners. Centrios is also no runner. Love coming out of retirement. Ken Dog, Faded Pupper, as you saw from last season. Jar is also coming out of retirement to play. And then Azun E coming back from a good season from last season. And then we also have my IRL friend, Lewis. Shout out to you, Lewis, if you're watching this video. He's also a new player. He doesn't play first draft league, actually, for him. These are teams. We'll go through a little bit tier listing. It's practically the same as last season. If you want to go back, watch it last season. We'll talk about quick things that we changed on the doc, if you didn't know. We moved practically a lot of things down. I think we moved PZ down to UU. We moved Florges down to UU. AKA just Merke and I. We pleaded for it. And then we moved Balloon down to UU. We just thought it would have uses. And same with Raikou. We also moved it down. I actually don't really remember what we all moved down. But this is the tier listing. Those were the major ones. I want to explain the OUs. Everything else is kind of just bait a little bit here and there. And also we moved Mega Chomp down to UU. Those are the really big ones. Everything else is kind of dead and Anyways, let's start with my PRs. So, disclaimer, everyone's team is fantastic this season. I'm not lying. I think Kenny and I spent 30 minutes deciding on the order. It was so hard to choose. I'm not lying. Everyone has a fantastic season. Team, this season. It was so hard to talk about different things. I just try to do it based on team, not on known skill, because there's 3 new players and I don't really know their known skill as much. Thank you for that. As well as it really depends on their team and their synergy. I mostly looked at their synergy and very different things. It's sort of really weird. So at number 16, I have the Toronto Talonflames. And the coach Pitt.
Right here, boys.
Alright, mute Bigga. So I'll disclaim a little bit for Pitt on why he's number 16, why he's last. Pitt and I end up wagering half of his team for half of my team in a Minecraft battle. It seemed pretty immature, but it was quite fun. So I ended up giving Pitt Chansey and Charizard Mega Y as his first 2 picks in the draft. And I also gave him Cascoon and Silcoon as memes. So this is why practically his team is number one, because he had to like draft past like everyone else. And yeah, so explain a little bit on his team. His team is still like, you shouldn't still sleep on his team. Charizard Y is a mega insane offensive threat with Sun. 159 special attack stat is like one of the highest that you can get. It's not to be slept on. But Chansey is just a monster. If you know Chansey, it just eats everything with EVLite. Knockoff is very prevalent on his team. He doesn't have a ton of knockoff switch-ins. Granbull is about it. Me and Show doesn't eat knockoffs. Other than that, Chansey is just a very, very good wall. I guess his team relies on him getting down hazards with Starmie. His only hazard removal is Rapid Stitch Starmie. So if you have a Stealth Archer with a Ghost type, guys, you can easily beat Pitt's team, because bringing rocks against Pitt is very, very effective. But Metagross and Goodra and Mienshao do pose a threat. Metagross is a fantastic Pokemon, and same with Goodra. Look at his defense stat in 130 and attack stat in 135, and then as well as his special attack in 110. And Goodra just eats everything, especially adding that with a Chansey that can run mixed defenses without having to invest into HP. Like, you can just run 252 defense, 252 special defense, and it just sits in front of everything. His team did like he drafted Granbull and Golurk, I guess, for fighting types around Chansey. And Metagross and Starmie also can eat up some fighting type moves. He just needs like something better. Like, he needs to get rid of these two, Cascoon and Silcoon, big threats. With eight moves. Electivire is very, very good for his team. And he doesn't really have like anything like super. Like, Charizard Y is his offensive sweeping threat, and Mienshao probably his attacking sweeping threat. It just his synergy doesn't work at all. He doesn't have a dragon type. Granbull's an okay fairy type at best. Metagross
does have a dragon type, Homo.
Oh yeah, you have Goodra. Okay, yeah, like his Dragon Fairy Steel Core is kind of bad. Yo, Kenny, move Pit out. And Goodra isn't really reliable. I guess he is the best Wish Passer in the game, arguably, in your Chansey, but it's gonna be so hard to switch with just one U-turner and Mienshao and Volt Switch and Electivire. I don't think he'll bring Electivire a lot. But yeah, his team isn't the worst I've ever seen in Draft League, but it's definitely the worst in this Draft League. So where was he? Yeah, I'll move him all the way at the top so we know what we're talking about. Anyways, moving on to number 15. As well as like 16 to 10 were really, really hard, and then same from 1 to like 8. Like, they were so hard to choose on which one. So number 15 is actually the Oceanside Oshawotts and their coach, Cheetah. So, looking at Cheat's team, his offensive threats are very, very, very scary. He has Talonflame and Scolipede and Diancie. Very, very hard to switch into Talonflame. In general. But his team does get walled out by a really, really good steel type. Mega Agon's a good example. Ferrothorn's really, really good. If Talonflame runs Flare Blitz on it, Talonflame's taking 67% minimum. From recoil, I think he'll take like 40%. Iron Bugs, Rocky Helmet. And the way that he beats Talonflame completely, if he sacks 1-for-1 with Ferrothorn, if he gets up Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks destroy Cheat's team. He has two detergents and a Magic Bounce user, as I'm looking at it right now, in Mega Diancie. Flygon and Kabutops. And if he brings Flygon or Kabutops every single game, it also takes away from his Bolt Core and P2 and Arcanine, which is average at best. He doesn't have a Wish Passer. I don't think Meloetta gets wished. No. He doesn't have a Wish Passer, which could really, really hurt P2. P2 coming in on everything, especially that he doesn't have an insane knockoff switch in. Diancie as well doesn't really want to come in on Stealth Rock users, because Stealth Rock users are usually Steel type, Rock type, and Ground type. Those three, I can guarantee almost, like, a lot of Steel types gets Earthquake, and same with Rock types. And Ground types just destroy Diancie. As well as anything could be packing HP Steel, and it could really, really hurt Diancie, especially if he gets a wrong prediction into the hazards. And once he has hazards up, Scolipede and Talonflame uses go down the drain really, really hard. Scolipede's an amazing setup threat. It's amazing late game. If he gets late game with Diancie and Talonflame, Scolipede can just put in the work. He can chip things down with P2. I just found that having one U-turner... I think Meloetta gets U-turn. Yeah, Meloetta, Flygon gets U-turn. So these three being his U-turners will help. But I don't really see any bulky attackers other than Arcanine. But I feel like Arcanine will be put in a lot of defensive roles that P2 can't cover. And P2 is going to be under so much pressure coming in on attacks after attacks after attacks. And he's really going to have to rely on Spiritomb, Lantern. Like, Lantern's pretty reliable at points. And Klinklang plus Lapras. And, like, special defensive Meloetta, which takes away its amazing pirouette form. It just takes away from a lot of his team. He doesn't have, like, Lantern's a okay bulky water, but, if he got rid of Arcanine or something, it could really, really help out his team. If he picked up something, like a ground type, or something more useful than Flygon. Just quad weaknesses, like, quad weakness. It's good to have quad weaknesses, like, having, like, a lot or, like, not, but, like, I don't really like having my ground type to have quad weaknesses at some points, here and there. But he also, it's not the worst team, like, obviously not. It has very good offensive potential. It's just, if he goes down a couple mons, if it's 4-6 or something, it's going to be very, very hard. Especially when Talonflame takes damage from itself every time it gets Brave Bird in. So hazards is the really big issue. And trying to get in Talonflame and Scolipede to sweep is going to be very hard. Moving into number 14. This was also a very, very big surprise. But when I was looking at it with Kenny, we're like, this guy also doesn't have any hazard removal. It's not the Georgia Gumi. Sorry. It's, oh my god, what's wrong with this? Move. Thank you. It's the Kana Chansey. Jack, your team is so scary to switch into. Lando, Medicham, Volcarona, plus Cloyster with Shell Smash, Galvantula hitting Thunders, Zoroark with Life Orb, Tyrantrum, Barbarical, so hard to switch into. But you have one hazard removal with a Volcarona, bro. Cloyster. And if you win Cloyster every single game, a special attacker Cloyster's gonna get, worn down. Easily. So easily Cloyster gets worn down. 25% chance to rocks every time it comes in. And then you have to rapid spin. Cloyster's slow. So you're not gonna... There's the odds of you getting a free rapid spin off is very, very unlikely. As well as they said for Pit, if this guy has a ghost type that stops Mega Medicham in its tracks in Gen 6, and it stops rapid spinning Cloyster, and Volcarona will take 50%, Cresselia will take 25%, and it will chip down your Lando. As well as Cresselia is his only wall. Lando can run as a bulky pivot with Stealth Rocks, would be fantastic. And it's his Volturn core is really, really good. Lando Galv. It really brings in Mega Medicham a lot, but Mega Medicham also sucks in this gen due to the fact it doesn't get its base 100 speed right off the bat. It has base 80 because Gen 6 Mega's speed don't update on the first turn. So he'll have a base 80 Mega Medicham, which is good and bad thing. I guess you run Fake Out. But other than that, like, he has offensively, these three are super, super scary to switch in with Tyrantrum in the back. It's so hard to switch into him. One, Dragon Spam is a thing. He has no Fairy type. Dragon Outrage destroys his whole team. If, like, Dragonite or something like Haxorus, 1D Dance, Outrage your whole team. With Rocks up, your team is kind of done. And if Speed Tiers are mad at best, Medicham's best way to revenge kill Medicham is bringing something that outspeeds it. And he has 108 speed, like 108, 105, 2 base 100s. He has Ninja, sorry. Base 150 without any deterrent for rocks. So Ninjas will take 50% rocks. And Volcarona will take 50% rocks. And then he has 108, 105, 2 100s, and then 91. And then it goes down from there, like Cresselia, and then Tyrantrum Barbarical. But yeah, his team is very offensive, so that's why it's here. It's not last place, but he has no hazard control with the Volcarona and the Shin Ninja plus Ninjas. Galaxy's 25% to rocks. I just think rocks will destroy your team, and only having close to the turret is very, very bad. Especially if he has someone has a speedy mon that can sweep. Jolteon's very, very good against your team, especially carries HP Ice, because you have no Thunderbolt switch in other than Lando, and if you predict you on HP Ice, there goes your Lando, and then Specs Thunderbolt, rips through your team. Something just super, super fast, like Mega Lop could have a really good field there against your team, too. Even though you have Cresselia, Toxic Power Up Punch, will just destroy your team. But Mega Metacham is the turning point when Lando on your team. You can really, really break well with it. Moving on, this is also a big surprise. The Atlanta Aerodactyls are number 13 on the draft. And the coach Love, by the way, if I didn't say it. I loved your team, Love. I just found that, as well, you don't have a lot of defoggers. You have one spinner and a clay doll. And you have one setter and a bronze. Oh, you have three setters, sorry. You have three setters. Zygarde's okay at Gen 6. It doesn't get 1,000 arrows. So it's good with a D-Dance E-Speed set. Tangled is also very fantastic. And Gengar's very, very scary in Gen 6, especially because it keeps Levitate. Yeah, your team is, weird. You have your fast mon in 110 Gengar, which can be easily outsped with a Scarf. And I feel like you be forced to unscarf Heracross, or Sash, or Yachi Berry Zygarde or something. Something weird to get up a D-Dance to outspeed a lot of things. But a Scarfer, just destroys your team. You have two good walls in the Bronzong and Tangrowth, but fire types can really hurt you. Crawdon and Swampert aren't the best switch-ins, because Swampert doesn't get reliable recovery, and Crawdon's not really a wall. It's more of a sweeper. But Zygarde also can, take fire type moves. But as well as I thought you'd probably use Zygarde as more of an offensive physical mon going forward. Yeah, and I'd see Heracross running Scarf a lot to do a lot of damage. Just because you don't really have an insane offense. Mega Glalie is very, very good offense going forward, but just not having hazard control and have to bring Claydol every single week will really, really hurt Mega Glalie. If you're running Double Edge or Returner, Double Edge, sorry, more than anything. But yeah, overall your team isn't bad. Also, I didn't see a single U-turner on his whole team, so he's going to have to hard switch on literally everything, and he also doesn't have electric type for Volt Switch, which I also find that it will be so hard to bring in Gengar and Zygarde freely, same with Crawdon and Heracross, because Crawdon and Heracross will have to take a hit to come in, unless you go after something dies. Next, surprisingly, my next pick for number 12 is the Falcon House Captain Falcons and Lewis. Lewis's team is very, very scary offensively. Latios, Weavile, Garchomp are very, very, very good. He has a good spinner and Tentacruel. PZ can rip through teams with the adaptability, choice specs, tri-attack. With 135 special attack stat, his speed tiers are really, really, really good. Some of the best in the league, 125 Weavile, 110, 108, and 102, and it literally just fits in perfectly with every single speed tier. Then he has a 100 base special Tentacruel that also can rapid spin for him and defog with Latios if you really wanted to. Togetic also gets defog. I'm very, very questionable on Sableye, Mawile, and Kabuskin plus Grumpig. I don't really know what he wants here. They're kind of just random. I guess Sableye is very, very good with Prankster in Gen 6 because it can Prankster Dark types. I don't know why I picked Mawile. Does Mawile... I guess Stealth Rocks, maybe? Combuskin can set up, I guess. And I don't know why he picked Grumpig. Yeah. Something. But Quags are very, very good. Unaware mod. He doesn't really have a wall. That's why he's, sort of lower. But offensively, he's going to put a lot of pressure on. He only has really... does Togetic get U-turn? No. he only has one way to like momentum switch and like Cobalion with Volt Switch. So yeah, Garchomp or Latios don't mind taking some damage to get off some more damage, but Weavile does not like to take hits. But offensively, I think your team is fantastic. I just feel like if you had a little bit more like Volt Turn, could be very, very effective. Next, moving on, we have number 11. Let me find it. Right here. We have the Evergrande Espeons, like Ariana Grande XD. And we have the Coach Dalio. Daily, your team's hyper offense with no hazard removal. That's all I really have to say. I feel like Jirachi will have to be running the defensive role every single week, or your team will just get ran over. Sandslash is the only way to get rid of hazards. Also, you have a Chatot. You should have definitely kept Blastoise, but you gave me Chatot. Yeah. Jirachi High Dragon, Calthea was fantastic. Staraptor, super hard to switch into. Manectric helps you with your speed tiers. Roserade is very, very good, but not that very bulky. Metabot Typhlosion, alright, I guess. Frostlass and Rhydon were pretty good pickups. I just feel like it's practically, you need to kill them fast. If you long out a game, you lose. And if you go down, like Mon, so if you like get a bad predict and you lose a Mon, you will lose the match. Because that's how you play hyper offense. You need to put a ton of pressure on and not be, you need to have more Mons than your opponent. To just start clicking buttons with Staraptor. As well as your Volt Turn core is very, very good. Jirachi, High Dragon, and Manectric is very, very good. But yeah, you have no hazards. Sticky Webs could destroy you. Yeah, and you just have hyper offense, and yeah, you just have to make really, really aggressive predictions. And if you guess a wrong prediction, I think the game's over almost. And it's very, very hard to dig out the hole off if you down some mons in hyper offense because you have nothing to switch into. If you get outspread with High Dragon and someone plops in something like Kyurem Black, you have no switching into a Kyurem Black. Unless you're running like special defensive Jirachi, which people can drop things on Jirachi if you're like the bulky. That is number 11. Number 10 is a very big toss up, but going deeper into it, I found that there's some major holes into his team. Oops, sorry, not this one. XD. And number 10, it's the Summit Sceptiles and Faded Keys. Okay, hear me out. His Mega Pinsir is his only sweeping mon. His late game sweeper, his wall breaker. Breloom can count as a wall breaker, but it's slow. It's super, super slow. Mach Punch is fantastic with it, and it's sort of hard to switch into it. Its move pool is meh. It gets grass, fighting, and rock moves. And one electric move, sorry. And it's super, super hard. Like, you can play around Breloom. You can definitely play around Breloom. And the way that I'm looking at Faded's team is, you'll see Fortress every single week because he needs spin. If he runs Defog on Latias, he has no special offensive attacker. He has set up Calm Mind Suicune, and he has Magneton. Magneton, you can definitely deal with a Magneton. Anyone can. It's not fast. It hits somewhat hard, and it has to run Choice Scarf or Choice Specs to do and Life Orb to do big damage. And Choice Scarf just outspeeds and stuff. He doesn't have a viable Scarfer other than Durant and Latias. And I guess Magneton, but you won't see Scarf for Powdon, you won't see Suicune Scarf, you won't see Jellicent, and I would see. You will guarantee half see Mega Pinsir almost every single game. If not, he's not breaking through your team. Latias special attacking is not as scary as Latios, obviously, but it does provide good wish support. I think Faded's going for a little bit of a stallier, or like a bulkier thing. But you can really, really punish Hippowdon and Suicune with the right mons. You can definitely set up on Suicune freely. Even if it runs Toxic, that means it's not running Sub, it's not running Calm Mind, it's not running Rest, it's not running Sleep Talk, it's not running something out of those 5 moves, Suicune can't be running. If his only attacking move is Scald, if you have a Water type, perfect. You have a Grass type, you wall it. If he's running Scald Ice Beam, he's not running Rest, Sleep Talk, and Calm Mind. Like, you know what I mean? And if he's running Scald, Ice Beam, Calm Mind, Rest, he's not running Sleep Talk, free turns to set up on you. As well as his speed tiers are bad. 110, 105, 109. And then everything else is, I think, base 70s. Yeah, base 70s and then, 85, base 70s. And then everything else is practically garbage. He also, he has a spinner and a defogger. So you will see one of those two guaranteed every single match running spin and defog. If Latias is running defog, Scarf Latias is out of the question. I guess he could run Trick, but also that means he can't be set up Calm Mind. He can't be, like, his team, he needs many, many things to be run just to be effective. Hippowdon and Suicune can cause a really, really big threat. His type synergy is fantastic, and that's why he's not, like, lower. Jellicent and Suicune I kind of find redundant. Like, if you run, I don't think he'll run Suicune and Jellicent on the same team, and if he does, then, like, it takes away from, sorry, that was my keyboard disconnecting. It takes away from his offensive pressure with one Mon that's 4 times weak to rocks, and he only has 2 to turn, or Latias, that could be sweeping, or could be, like, defog or something. And then, Pangoro and Muck. Pangoro is a threat, but really, 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 really slow. And Muck can set hazards, but yeah, and I gave him a for it, so... Breloom's a big threat with Spore. He can really, really set up and sweep on you. But if you have something, like, had 2 to 3 things on Pinsir, and you have something to wall break his whole team and set up Stealth Ox constantly, I think Faded's team's pretty breezy. As well as, he has Volt Switch. He has Volt Switch, that's it. A Magneton. He can't get in Pinsir and cleanly. Pinsir has to take a hit unless something dies. And I think that's where he will capitalize Pinsir on missed matchups. So if you kill Hippowdon with a grass move, he brings in Pinsir right away. And that's where I think his team will shine with missed matchups. When you kill him on, he'll bring in Pinsir to revenge kill and set up in your face. And that's how you sort of beat that team. But other than that, Faded, get another defogger and a special attacking threat, please. And your team will be better. Next, number 9, we have, oh my god, the Georgia Goomies. I like Goomy. Goomy is one of my favorite mons. Georgia Goomies, and the coach, Fruitberry, is one of our newer coaches. This is the third new coach, Fruitberry. He has a very, very good team. At first, I was very, very skeptical on what he was doing, because all I saw was these 6 Pokemon, and I was like, bro, you're hella weak to fighting type. But then he actually picks up Delphox and Slowking and Dusclops, and I was like, man, it works. Because Amoonguss, his type synergy is fantastic, and that's why I think it's better over Faded. He has Volt Turn. This thing with Choice Band is so hard to switch into. Aggron walls, Amoonguss can wall. Torrent, has a pivot with Regenerator. It's so hard to take down. He has a Slowking with Regenerator as well. He has a Regenerator core, bro. He has a Regenerator core. I didn't even see this. Slowking, Amoonguss, Torrent, he has a Regenerator core. Jeez. Okay. Delphox with really good speed. His speed tiers are very, very, miss and match. 121, 109, and 104 are really, really good. Especially with Sand with Stoutland to double his speed. Is very, very good with Sand Rush. Hitmonlees are a really, really good way to get down hazards. But hazards you can hazard stack on Faded. On Fruit. But he also has a way to get rid of T-Spikes. And Mega Aggron is just so hard to take down. The only reason why it's this low, 20 is more of a pivot, and I don't think it kills a lot of things. And Tyranitar can be easily revenge killed. Even if he's like Choice Band or something, as well as Mega Aggron every time it comes in will always take damage. If you start chipping Mega Aggron down, that's the way to beat it. He doesn't have reliable Wish Pass with his Regen Core. I guess he has Delphox. But if you had a Wish Pass, or if he had instead of Seismitoad, if he had Alomomola, would be very good. But I do like Seismitoad's Amoonguss. That's a very, very good thing, especially with Mega Aggron. Ground types is very, very spammable on his team. He doesn't really have a big ground type answer other than Torn T. But if you catch that Torn T, then Earthquake Spam is fantastic against his team. And yeah. Other than that, I really enjoy his team, and that's why I put it at number 9. Number 8, I have the New York Necrozmas. So, talking about the New York Cosmos, his team is very, very synergized. Beautiful Volt Turn and to Rotom Heat Scissor. The balance perfectly well together. I just found his team doesn't really have a wall. Donphan I wouldn't consider a wall, and same with Vaporeon. They die kind of easily. Like Earthquake, like any Earthquake, like Excadrill's Earthquake, 2 shots Vaporeon. Donphan can only come in on special attacks, and it also can get down chipped so easily. Mew, I'd feel like have to run a little bit of a wall, like a wally, like more of a wall core, like wall Mew, as well as bringing Stealth Rocks on Donphan plus Spin could really hurt it. Due to the fact that he has two main, Defog on Mew could be optional, and Golbat. If he runs Defog on Scissor, it really takes away from Scissor's moveset, like U-turn, Bullet Punch, Sword Stance, Roost. Yeah, it really takes away from his moveset here. He Bullet Punch, U-turn, Defog, Roost, I guess, or something like that. As well as Vape doesn't take as much hits. He has to run like special defensive Vape to wall out special attackers really well. But I don't think he'll do that a lot because it opens up really big holes. As well as Donphan. Rotom Heat's probably his best wall. It has the best mixed defenses on his team, but it has no reliable recovery. Vaporeon's pretty good with Wish Pass. And Whimsicott without Defog kind of sucks in this gen, but it's also there to help out his team with Taunt and stuff. And Megalop is a really big breaker. Other than Double Dance Mew, Nasty Plot Mew, I don't really see a big special attacker breaker. I guess Specs Rotom. But I think Rotom would be more of a pivot role for David. I'm trying to get in Lop and Scizor and Mew as many times as possible. Jolligan's a decent Dragon type. And yeah, other than that, his team is average. He doesn't have threatening threats that screams threats, like Victini, or something like Thunderous Therian, or something like Mega Scizor. It doesn't have, Lopunny is a threat, but it's not as, scary as a Mega Pinsir. Lopunny can set up on you with Power Punch, but it can't, get up a D-Dance turn 1 and has insane priority. I don't think it only gets Fake Out, I think, as a priority. And I think, Quick Fact. But yeah, I don't think it's as a scary threat. I guess Double Dance Mew is a very scary threat. But it can get Pursuit Trapped, and it could really hurt David if Mew goes down. And I think Mew is the glue to his team. But yeah. Moving on to number 7. Perfectly there, we have the Ashburn Snorlaxes and the Centrios. Centrios' team is very good. This is where we came to the point where, we're getting to, well, you just know, when you look at the team and you know it's solid. And Luke's team is very solid. Unlike David, he has distinguishable walls. He has Fortress, Gligar, and Registeel. They are walls. They eat hits really well. As well as his offensive core is probably the most scariest in the whole entire league. Victini, Q, and Black Thunder Therian are so hard to switch into, especially when he can U-turn and Volt Switch into Q and Black that has Roost that can take hits. He has Wish Support, beautiful Wish Support into Florges that can take hits, as well as Registeel can just take all the hits. Gligar and Blastoise can get rid of rocks and hazards for Q and Black, Victini, and Thunder Therian. That's why I find his team is number 7. It's very predictable, and rocks really do hurt him, and he has to be forced into Blastoise, and without Wish Support, Blastoise can get chipped like Mega Aggron really easily. As well as getting a good predict in the Gligar and losing Hazard Control is really big for him. Especially Florges not getting Defog in Gen 6 really does hurt him. And if Florges did get Defog, this team would be very good. And it would be very scary. It still is. Offensively, there's almost nothing. There's nothing in the game that switches into all 3 of those beautifully. And yeah, his Gallade and Quillfish for T-Spikes, his Leavanny for Webs, And I don't know why he has Garbodor XD. You should have Bastiodon and Crustle for Stealth Rocks, as well as Crustle can Shell Smash Sweep if you're not prepping for it. And Blastoise is so hard to switch into. With Mega Launcher, with Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, Water Pulse, Flash Cannon, all getting boosts. With Mega Launcher, it's very, very hard to switch into it. He just has a really, really, really good team all around. I just feel like Rocks can really, really hurt him, and how passive Gligar is could really also hurt him in the long run. As well as his speed tiers aren't as fantastic as you think. He really does need to rely on webs. Beast 101 as his fastest mon. Next, moving to number 6 is the Snowville Snoms and Kendog. Their leader, bro. Sorry, I've been talking for a while. He has a very, very good team, making some trades to Sora for Shaman, Ambipom, and Cofagrigus. I find that, unlike Luke's team, he doesn't have, he also has a sort of the same issue with, David. He doesn't have very, very distinguishable walls, as well as his Volturn core isn't, as threatening as Victini plus, Thunderstone. But overall, I feel like he is a complete team, especially with Clefable, Chomp Mega, and Empoleon. Chomp Mega is just a monster with its attack stat, same stat as KB, same attack stat. As well as he has Sneasel and Shaman. Sneasel has a knockoff deterrent, it just destroys knockoffs. And then Fernape to pivot around with Thunderstand to drop in Garchomp is very, very good. Cofagrigus works very well as a team. Same with Mesprit, to get Brox. I just feel like his team overall is pretty average at most. Empoleon's gonna be pressured a lot, to take a lot of hits, same with Shaman, that Infernape don't like, and Clef and Garchomp. I just feel like Empoleon will be under a lot of pressure, and it'll be sort of hard, for him to maneuver around his team, especially putting on a lot of offensive pressure, which this team does really, really do enjoy. Offensive pressure is definitely the way to go for his team. And if he gets a wrong prediction or something, his team probably will crumble if he does get outsped and just get rightly predicted. Next we have number 5. Oh, we don't have Dongola Dittos. We have the California Cacturns. This team is very, very well put together. Coached by Pupper Kuhn. He has three quad weaknesses in Ice, Fire, and Grass, which is really, really, and Rock, I guess, if you count Masquerade. And Bug and Celebi, Jesus. And Ice and Noivern. Wait, he has a lot of quad weaknesses. Which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's hard to bring on which HP Ice for him, but at the same time, he doesn't know which HP Ice you're bringing for him. As well as, I was looking at his team, Noivern brings a really, really good speed to his team and Terrac. But other than that, Gliscor is the best thing. And a defensive Gliscor probably fits his team the best. If he brings an offensive, cool, but I don't think it'll be doing a lot. As well as his special breakers are Chandelure, and Noivern, are really, really good. And Celebi is more of a Cleric. Cleric, he doesn't get Wish. You don't get Wish. No, you don't. Umbreon gets Wish. And his team is perfectly built around Umbreon. I just find that, it'll be just very, very relying and heavily on switches, which I know Pupper can play, but going forward, I see a little bit, I see setup in SD, but relying on Chandelure, special attacking wise, is good, but it's so easy to switch on Chandelure and just Pursuit Trap it or something, or just kill it, and all your focus will go back onto track, just breaking things. But other than that, Noivern late game sweeping, or Chinchino late game sweeping, is okay, but I'll see Scizor mostly late game sweeping with Bullet Punch. If he gets up in SD with Bullet Punch late game sweeping, you have no answer to it, it's over. But I feel like at the same time, if you can pivot around his team nicely, especially when he has 4 U-turners and no electric, no big electric type, I'm not going to count Tom Fan, you can get around this team. He has one wall to practically everything. Umbreon can wall out everything, but Gliscor can wall out physical attackers, And if he runs it mixed, like it's less of a threat. And I do think that Glasgow does run into a 4-move syndrome issue. Like knockoff, earthquake, U-turn, protect, stealth rocks, defog as well. And Umbreon is pretty big setup fodder, especially if you get sub up on its toxic. As well as Scizor also runs in the 4-move syndrome, as well as if I'm not running defog on Glasgow, I should bring it on Scizor. But yeah, he also has some defoggers in Skunk Tank and Masquerain, which will be really, really good. But I just don't find the special offensive pressure that your team does need to support Terrakion. But defensively, your team is really, really good. I just feel like if you get predicted, your team will kind of crumble. If you lose Glasgow, Scizor, or something, it'll kind of crumble, and it'll be hard to like come back on. But your team, shut up. Your team eats a lot of hits though. Yeah, as well as like I find it's just like people will know what you bring. I don't think you'll bring Skunk Tank, Groudon Fan, Masquerain a ton. If you do, then you're not bringing Umbreon Glasgow all week. You're not bringing your special attacker and Chandler. You're not bringing your Cleric. I guess Celebi and Umbreon are interchangeable. But if you don't bring Umbreon, you don't have Wish. If you don't bring Glasgow, you have Gastrodon, I guess. But like, you sort of know what he's bringing. You have to bring Terrak to do damage. And Scizor, I guess. Yeah. But there's not, like, Scizor's a threat, but it's not like a threat like Luke's team. It's not constant pressure. And I feel like if you get constantly pressured, it'll be harder and harder to switch into things. Especially if you can't get the Wish off. If you can't get a Roost off on something. Yeah. Yeah, and it's your team's basically mostly solely on predictions. And yeah. Oh, next is my team at number 4. London Luxrays. Lol. I think my team and Pupper's team is fairly tied. Pupper's team is more defensive, and mine's more of like what's gonna switch in. Okay, so my team's a little bit weird. I don't really have a wall either. Looking at it, but I have a ton of pressure. I have beautiful slow U-turn here. I got Blastoise from Daily somehow, and I have probably the best Hazard control in the game. I have 2 Rapid Spinners, 3 defoggers, and I have a God of Omega that just clicks buttons on everyone on the team. You have to prep for this thing. It's going to be a big threat. Raikou with 115 speed, move down to UU, very, very big threat. Same with Crobat with 130 speed, and Mandibuzz is very, very hard to take down. And you can't set up on me because I have a Ditto. And I have Wish Report in the Licky Licky. I have Stealth Rocks and Sticky Webs with Shuckle, which will be perfect. Toxic Spikes and Wheezing, and then don't sleep on Swoobat. I'll bring it to 1 or 2 matches, I promise. Overall, I feel like God of War just puts in a massive hole, and if I get it in on something like very, very defensive, like an Umbreon, something is going to take a lot of damage, and you are guaranteed to be put on the back foot, and that is what this team does. If you're constantly trying to catch up to me, I'm just going to put you in the ground. Because I can set up in your face with Calm Minds. I have 3 Calm Mind users. I have an SD user. I have Nasty Plot with Crobat. Especially when I have a Shuckle in the back that can just set hazards on you constantly. Yeah, I feel like my team is very, very good synergized. But as well as, if you catch me on something, my team is very, very hard to play catch up on. God of War will just be picking up kills left and right. Yeah, so watch out for God of War Mega XD. Next, number 3, I have the Dongala Does. So coming in at number 3, this is Jar of Cats. And I think this is a beautiful team. This is a very, very good, well-rounded team. The one speculation I wish he had was Wish Support. Looking at it, he has very, very few ways to recover his mons. And if he picks up, like, Wigglytuff for Furfru, it would be very, very good. Heatran and Automash Mega Venusaur. That's a perfect core. They perfectly synergize with each other super, super well. And then he has a Haxorus that doesn't care about Unaware Clef, doesn't care about anything, doesn't care about Levitate users, just breaks through everything, as well as a late game cleaner or like a Suicide Lead in Azelf. Torn T is very, very threatening with his speed stats. Like, he has very perfect speed stats, 115, 111, 197. If he had a base 100, it would be good. But yeah, he also has a Diancie that just eats hits for days, wishing that it had Wish Pass. Electros is very, very good as well. I think it's a little bit redundant with Rotom Wash. If he gets a Wish Passer for Electros, be really good. Perfect ground type in Piloswine. Eviolite is a monster. Especially when his team doesn't really care about fighting types as much, or water types in general, actually. And Hitmonchan, very, very all round. Fighting type with Rapid Spin, and also can set up. Malamar, very, very scary if you don't prep for it, especially in Trick Room. I think it's its own Trick Room. And Furfuro, I don't really know what it does, but it's base 102 speed, so it works with the speed stats. Yeah, I do like your team a lot, John. And coming at number 2, we have I think it's the Underwood Umbreons. If I'm wrong, Umbry, shoot me a DM, I'm sorry. But this is also a complete team, bro. Other than a fire type... Oh wait, it has a fire type, sorry. It has Fire, Water, Grass, Fairy, Steel, Dragon. As you can see, Skarmory, Charizard X, Sylveon are just really, really good together. As well as Charizard X, Milotic, Rotom Mo is very, very good. The only speculation I would have on this team is Volt Switch is very, very bad. Volt Turnsoy, he has a Selgor, which is a really, really good mon, and Zatu, and Rotom Heat. Rotom Mosoy. But other than that, Milotic, Krook, Green Necklace, beautiful. Skarmory is very, very well protected with this thing, with fighting and electric types. Well, it's not fighting, but like, Krook's fighting weakness. But Skarmory's fire type gets walled up by these two, and Sylveon's just a threat. His speed tails are pretty good. There's a really, really big gap between the Selgo and Charizard, and I feel like people will take advantage of that. But he has a Smeargle that can set webs. But yeah, there's nothing really bad to talk about on his team. Just get better U-turners to bring in Charizard more. And then he has really good hazard control. Who cares that Skarmory brings Defog every single week? It's not getting one shot. And last but not least, we have number 1. No surprise here. The Jacksonville Jaguars have it all this season. Dragon Fairy Steel Core, Fire Water Grass Core, plus Mamoswine. He has beautiful U-turn, Voltorb with Jolteon, Darmanitan. Latias eats everything with Ferrothorn. They perfectly synergize typing together. As well as Togekiss adds onto it. Mamoswine and Darmanitan are just so hard to switch into, both of them. Latias just beats bulky water types with Calm Mind. And Alomomola is also a very, very wishy mon, especially with Ferrothorn. These two will be very, very good defensive pairing. Drapion breaks all bulky psychic types, and Jolteon outspeeds a lot of things in the tier and just clicks Volt Switch and everything. Mismagius is also a Levitate user, which also helps him out a lot, and it can set up also on bulky psychic types and just click Nasty Paws on something. Regirock was there for more of a defensive mon that can set up more Stealth Rocks. He also has Spikes, T-Spikes. This thing can set up Stealth Rocks. This thing can set up Stealth Rocks. So he has very, very reliable hazards, as well as Lopunny. I don't know why I wanted it. Lol. And Ninetales. I think it gets Drought. And Darmanitan with Drought is very, very good. And Ninetales is just another good base 100, which he needed across the board. Because he has 130, 110, 105, 105, 100, and like 80, 80, and 95, and 95. Like, his speed tiers are like bang, bang. And he doesn't really need to be outspeed because he has perfect walls to almost everything. So yeah, that is PRs. Thank you for watching. If you want to DM me, I can give you more incline. I'm a little bit tired and sick right now. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.